Hi guys, it's dinner time. We're going to make lasagna for dinner. I'm so excited to be making this recipe because I love making this especially for parties and when I have family that comes over. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need lasagna, of course. Make sure it's 100% whole wheat. I got mine from Target. You're going to need lean ground turkey breast, pasta sauce, extra virgin olive oil, a tomato, two different type of cheese, cheddar and mozzarella. Make sure it's fat-free or at least reduced fat. You're going to need spinach, and we're also going to make corn on the cob. So let's get started. Here we go. So I already cut up my spinach and my tomatoes. Now here I'm going to show you how I cut my spinach. I just basically take it in a bundle and I fold it and then I just cut it into small pieces like I'm going to do right here. So I use about less than a half a bag of spinach and one tomato, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and get my ground turkey ready. As you can see, I'm just cutting it into small pieces with my spoon. And I'm going to add my extra virgin olive oil so I can go ahead and start cooking it. My stove is on high at this point. So I basically start on high and then I put my stove around medium until everything is basically done, and I stay right there while it's cooking. I don't move nowhere. I don't go anywhere. I just cook it, make sure everything's cooking right in front of my eyes so that way it won't burn. And this doesn't take long at all. It takes about 20 minutes. So my corn is boiling, my water is boiling for my pasta. So I'm still working on my ground turkey. It's been about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to add my pasta sauce. And the reason why I'm adding tomatoes because it gives it more of a homemade taste since I'm adding the canned pasta sauce. So I'm going to add my spinach and my tomatoes, and I'm going to just mix everything together, as you can see here. You're not going to see me do this on camera, but all that's on the cutting board is going to be in this pan, okay? So I'm just mixing everything together so that way everything gets nicely cooked, as you can see here. Adding my black pepper. I already added my no salt seasoning. Now I'm going to boil my pasta. You see 2 bags of pasta because I still have some left over from last time. I'm going to add 12 pastas. So my pasta is done boiling, so I'm going to drain it, as you can see here. Then I'm going to rinse it with cold water so that way I could easily separate it so my hands won't be burning, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and start placing my meat into my pan. Now when you do this, when you spread it, you want to keep your family size in mind. Remember, I'm cooking for a family size of 5. I'm still going to have some left over for my husband to take for work, okay? So when I'm spreading this, I'm keeping the size of my family in mind. So make sure you do that when you're making your lasagna, okay? If you have more than a family of 5, say a family of 7, you might want to use more ground turkey. I say a ground turkey and a half, and with your pasta sauce, you want to use 1 can and a half, okay? I think that should be enough. So as you can see, unfortunately, my pasta was broken. So when this happened, use your broken pieces first, okay? So let's walk through the steps. First, you want to place your meat first. Then you place your pasta. If you have broken pasta, place your broken pasta first. Then you're going to add your cheese, okay? The most important thing is that you put your meat first, only meat. And the last thing you're going to put is only your pasta and a little bit of cheese on top. You'll see that later. So now we're at layer number 2, okay? Adding our meat. And make sure you do a thin layer of meat so that way your meat don't run out. You don't want your meat to run out. Definitely don't want your meat to run out. So each layer you add in a thin layer of meat and also a thin layer of cheese. You don't want your cheese to run out either, okay? So I'm just spreading out my meat. Instead of adding more meat, I'm just spreading out what I have. So that way I don't run out of meat. Now I'm moving on to my 3rd layer. Adding my pasta, as you can see here. Adding my cheese. So how do you avoid broken pasta like I have here? When you boil your pasta, make sure that you're stirring it up with your spoon so that way your pasta is not stuck together. When they're stuck together, when you separate them, they're going to break. This is exactly why my pasta is broken, because I'm filming, and sometimes when you filming, you forget important steps. So that's why this happened. But it's no big deal. At the end of the day, it was still lasagna and it was still good. So I'm adding my meat, as you can see here. And I don't know if you took notice, I'm sure you have. You can't even tell you have spinach in here. Can't even tell. So your kids won't even notice. So now I'm adding my last layer of pasta. Okay. Still had broken pieces. I was so frustrated. But you know what? I said it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's still food. So I was okay with it. And make sure you leave some cheese left for the top of your pasta, okay? Keep that in mind also. Do not use up all your cheese. And you don't want to buy like 2 bags of cheese just to make sure you don't run out of cheese, because then you're going to be consuming more calories than you need to. It's better that you just add a thin layer, because you don't really need all that cheese. Unless you're going to, you're doing this for more than a family of 5, then yeah, I'll say buy more cheese, of course. So I'm adding my last layer of meat. And you're gonna see here that I'm like looking for meat. Like literally, I have no meat left, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna spread everything through, and it's still gonna be fine. It's still gonna be fine, I promise. So I'm just making sure that the meat is, throughout my last little layer that I have left. So then you just cover it up with your last layer of pasta. So you're going to put your pasta in the oven for about 20 minutes or so to bake with no cheese. It goes in the oven just like this. You don't want burnt cheese on top of your pasta, okay? So it's out of the oven. I added my cheese. I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 2 to 5 minutes, okay? So this is what my pasta look like. And this is what it looked like on my plate after the cheese is all melted. I hope you enjoy. See you later.